Growing up, Emily was my hero. She was 4 years older than me, but she never treated me like the annoying little brother. She taught me how to ride a bike, helped me with my homework, and stood up to bullies for me. When our parents divorced, Emily became my rock. I was only 8, and she was 12, but she took on the role of a second parent without hesitation. She made sure I had lunch money, reminded me to do my homework, and even taught me how to tie a tie for my first school dance. But as we grew older, life pulled us in different directions. Emily stayed in our small hometown, working at the local diner and raising her 2 kids as a single mom. I moved to the city, chasing a career in finance that consumed most of my time and energy. We still talked occasionally, but the bond we'd once shared had thinned to a fragile thread. When I got engaged to Mia, I hoped my wedding would bring us closer again. Instead, it became the breaking point. The engagement. When I proposed to Mia, I couldn't wait to tell Emily. She was the first person I called. "Guess what?" I said, my voice brimming with excitement. "You finally got that promotion," she teased. "Better. I'm getting married." For a moment, there was silence on the other end of the line. Then she said, "That's great, Daniel. Congratulations." But something in her tone felt off, like she was forcing the words. I brushed it off, telling myself she was just surprised. Over the next few weeks, I called her several times to share updates about the wedding plans. Each time, her responses were polite but distant. "You're really doing a black tie wedding?" she asked during one of our calls. "It's what Mia's family wants," I explained. "What about what you want?" "I want to make her happy." She didn't press the issue, but I could sense her disapproval. The no-kids policy. The real trouble began when Mia and I decided on a no-kids policy for the wedding. It wasn't a personal decision. We just wanted a more formal atmosphere. When I told Emily, her reaction was immediate and furious. "So my kids aren't welcome?" she snapped. "It's not like that," I said quickly. "It's just the kind of wedding we're having. You're really going to exclude your own niece and nephews?" "It's not personal, Emily." "It feels personal." I tried to explain that it was a decision Mia and I had made together, but Emily wouldn't hear it. "You know how hard it is for me to find childcare," she said. "If I can't bring the kids, I can't come." "I understand," I said, though the words felt hollow. "You don't understand, Daniel. You've never had to choose between your family and your responsibilities." We didn't speak for weeks after that. The family fallout. Word of the no-kids policy spread quickly through our family. Some relatives were understanding, but others sided with Emily. "Emily's hurt," my mom said during one of our phone calls. "You know how much she's done for you over the years." "I know, Mom, but this is my wedding. Shouldn't I get to decide how it's done?" "Of course, but family should come first." The guilt gnawed at me, but I stood firm. I told myself Emily would understand eventually. The wedding day. The day of the wedding was beautiful. The venue was breathtaking, the food was exquisite, and Mia looked stunning in her gown. But as I stood at the altar, scanning the crowd, Emily's absence was a glaring void. After the ceremony, I tried to focus on the celebration, but the thought of her not being there weighed heavily on me. Later, during the reception, I stepped outside for some air. My mom found me leaning against a railing, staring out at the city lights. "She should have been here," I said quietly. "She's hurt, Daniel," Mom replied. "But she loves you. Give her time." The aftermath. I reached out to Emily the week after the wedding. She didn't answer my calls, so I drove to her house. When she opened the door, she didn't invite me in. "I don't want to talk to you," she said, her voice cold. "Emily, please." "I'm sorry. You made your choice, Daniel. Now live with it." The door closed, and I was left standing on her porch, feeling more alone than I ever had. The years that followed. In the years that followed, our relationship deteriorated further. I sent birthday gifts to her kids, but they were returned unopened. I tried to visit during the holidays, but she always found an excuse to avoid me. The last time I saw her was at our dad's funeral. She sat in the back of the church, her face a mask of indifference. When I approached her afterward, she turned and walked away without a word. I've replayed our fight over and over in my mind, wondering if I could have handled things differently. Was the no-kids rule worth losing my sister? Could I have compromised? Mia tries to comfort me, but even she knows there's a hole in my life that can't be filled. A glimmer of hope. Recently, I heard through the grapevine that Emily's oldest child, Sarah, is graduating high school. I sent a card with a heartfelt letter, hoping to bridge the gap. To my surprise, Emily sent a text a few days later. "Thank you for the card." Sarah appreciated it. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Epilogue. Lessons learned. Some choices can't be undone, and some wounds take years to heal. My wedding day may have been beautiful, but it came at a cost I never anticipated. I've learned that family isn't perfect, and neither am I. All I can do now is keep trying, hoping that one day, Emily and I can find our way back to each other.